Good evening, I'm Holly Hedrick. Two wildfires continue burning as dry conditions persist here in the mountains. We have team coverage tonight with Chief Meteorologist Jason Boyer in the Weather Center and News 13's Ryan Stockett in Asheville. But first, an update on the containment efforts of these ongoing wildfires. According to the North Carolina Forest Service, the Ox Creek fire in Buncombe County has burned 10 acres and is 100% contained tonight. Crews have been fighting the brush fire since Sunday. No injuries or damaged structures have been reported. The Panther Creek fire in Haywood County is now 110 acres and 80% contained. No buildings are threatened and no one's been hurt. Crews from Crabtree, Iron Duff, Fines Creek, Clyde, Junaluska, and Jonathan's Creek are all working the fire lines. They are joined by crews from the North Carolina and Georgia Forest Services. Let's begin our team coverage now with Chief Meteorologist Jason Boyer. Jason, even higher fire danger tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it's possible we could have some areas, especially into the foothills, have the highest risk for fire danger tomorrow. And you can see here, we just have not had much rain. In fact, the entire month, very little has fallen, less than a quarter inch for the entire month. And we're down almost 2 inches month to date. Since September, we're down 3 inches of rain. And it's that dry time of year with leaves on the ground and also vegetation drying out. You don't want that to be the case. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Wow, it's getting chilly in some spots, but humidity coming up tonight. That's the good thing. And tomorrow it's going to be a little bit higher than it was earlier today in the afternoon, but still looking pretty paltry. And that means we will have that increased fire danger area wide. All right, there are the winds right now, not terribly strong, but we'll pick them up tomorrow, 20, 25 miles per hour. Never a good thing, of course, when you're dry and you have more warm air and wind to contend with. And speaking of that wind, it will start to slacken, thankfully, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then pick back up into Saturday. A little bit of rain finally coming. Watch it advance in sometime tomorrow night into Wednesday. We'll add up more beyond that. I'll show you when.
A burn ban is still in effect in Buncombe County with very high fire danger for most of the state. However, there are currently no red flag warnings issued for North Carolina, and there are no state-issued burn bans. News 13's Ryan Stockett breaks down the difference between each of these indicators and ways you can find out about fire danger in your area.
Buncombe County issued a burn ban on Monday, and while fire officials are urging people not to open burn regardless of where you're at, the ban technically doesn't apply to the entire county. Crews responding to fires throughout the weekend in western North Carolina. On Monday, the Buncombe County Fire Marshal's office issued an open burning ban, but counties can only initiate local burn bans, which means they only apply to areas within 100 feet of a house. North Carolina Forest Service initiates them for areas outside 100 feet of a house.
So that 100-foot threshold is what separates the two jurisdictions.
While the North Carolina Forest Service currently hasn't issued any state burn bans, Philip Jackson with NCFS says they're still discouraging open burning.
While there's not currently a state-issued burn ban in place, anytime we see periods of dryness like we've had here lately, anytime we're experiencing days of high fire danger, gusty winds, and things of that sort, it's always part of the conversation.
Jackson says state-issued burn bans are issued when forest fire conditions reach a hazardous level coupled with the long-term forecast showing little to no improvement or potentially worsening conditions.
Right now, there is forecast improvement in the long-term forecast.
And for county-issued burn bans, a local ordinance says in part atmospheric conditions that may warrant a burning ban include but are not limited to extended periods of low humidity, high winds, elevated temperatures, and a lack of substantial rainfall. Right now, there are no red flag warnings for the state. Tricia Palmer with the National Weather Service says a red flag warning is a weather warning they issue based on what they're seeing in the forecast.
Winds that are possibly going to be gusting over 30 miles per hour, or if we have sustained winds over 20 miles per hour, combined with relative humidities below 25%. Those conditions are favorable for rapid fire growth.
We'll have a link to where you can keep up with red flag warnings and other weather warnings on our website, WLOS.com. While there's not just one spot where you can go to find where the burn bans are at, Jackson is encouraging people to stay in touch with your local emergency management agency and your local fire marshal's office. In Buncombe County, Ryan Stockett, News 13.